Hello, this is Manny Mestas, and this is a show called All About Guitar, your one-stop television show where you will learn absolutely everything there is about guitar. So grab your pencils and paper, grab your guitar, tune it up, and get ready to learn some really cool things on how to play a solo guitar and how to make a solo guitar arrangement. You know, it's one thing to play chords to a song, but if I just played a couple of chords, you wouldn't be able to identify what the name of the song was. It's only when you can play the melody, which is the singing part of the song, will you be able to say, oh, well, that's, Wooly Bully, or this is Stairway to Heaven, or whatever song you hear, you can identify it by the melody. So it's been my ambition for since I really taken up to learn how to play the guitar to include the melody with the chords and making it sound like a real complete song. So today's song sample we're going to explore and develop is Hey Jude by the Beatles. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to play you the family of chords that are a part of the song in the very fundamental basic chord form. So here we go. It's in the key of F. So this is an F bar chord in first position. And here's another F. And it's in first position. Here's C chord. The next chord is G minor, followed by C7. Then we go to B flat. Now B flat is one of those chords that really frustrates beginner guitar players because it really forces your hand to go in an awkward position. But here it is in its basic form. I'm going to be playing a modified version for this phrase or transition in the song. And then here is another version of F and another inversion of B flat and C. So you can see that your fingers really take on these very interesting positions on the fretboard, but the notes, the actual notes that create the chord, are identical. They're just in a different position and a different range. Now, the trick is to be able to continue playing the chords and incorporate the melody at the same time, plus making it sound musical. These are high, lofty goals, and it's something that never really ceases to challenge me, and I'm sure those of you who've been playing guitar will also agree with me. So, and also, if you have any questions about this particular show and this piece, you're welcome to contact me. My email address will be on the screen, mestasmanny@hotmail.com, or you could Facebook me. Go to Manny Mestas, Facebook. I'll be glad to answer your questions and just keep in contact with you regarding this particular arrangement. So here we go. I'm going to play phrases and then explain what I'm going to do, put it together so that way you can have a step-by-step process. Okay, so that's the introduction to the very first part. So you will see that I just took the basic melody and it's just a one note. And then I go into the chord. The next thing you hear are these what we call thirds. I love thirds. Thirds are what really give that guitar that really unique, romantic sound. And with a little vibrato on the end of it, really just makes the sweetness of the guitar come out. And so I just decided, rather than just play, I decided to add these thirds to it. And that creates a really nice harmony. Then I go to the C chord, which I have the G note, which is the melody, right on the very top. Now the trick with chord melody or building a solo is that the melody always has to be the highest pitch of your guitar arrangement. So real quickly, you can hear the melody crystal clear. So again, I just play simple notes, and then I plug my chord there, which I think sounds really nice. It's a G minor 7. Now we go really high up here. And I add a little, it's called a hammer on. And again, it just gives it a little sweetness to it. Back to the F chord. To B flat chord. Now this is what I call a $50 chord. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fret stretch. Woo. And if you're not used to stretching and using your pinky, utilizing this guy right here, this will be a tough chord for you to really incorporate. Now back to the melody. Here we are with the F chord, and I got the C note at the very high point. There's my C inverted. Now, at the very end there, it calls for an F chord, but I open it up with an F major 7, which incorporates the E note, which is part of the melody, and then I resolve it by playing the F note in the basic F chord. So it sounds really, it really works. Real quickly, one more time. So you can see, as you put it together, give a little more rhythm to it, it starts to come out and it sounds like the song. Now, I have to give you a little bit of insight on the very first note, which is just this note, C. C is probably the most played note in all of musical history. It's, in fact, it's so played, it's just overplayed. But it's the very first note. And I'm reminded of hearing B.B. King, Carlos Santana, Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Segovia, Paco de Lucia, Al Di Meola. These are all of my guitar heroes. I could hear just one note that they play on their instrument, and I could tell you pretty much who that artist is, because they can take one note and express really an immense amount of musical force through it. And I listened to Hey Jude many times, from the original Beatles recording and Paul McCartney singing, to instrumentals, a piano version, and just a variety of other artists that took this song. And I found, unfortunately, many of the other versions really just played right through C, the very first note. But I decided to really think about the very first note and try to give that real musical force behind it. Because when you listen to Paul McCartney sing that very first note, it is so powerful. And so I tried to imitate Paul McCartney's voice by playing the first note. So here it is again. See, and so it really is much better to give thought to the phrasing in music, to the notes, where they're played, the emotion behind the song, behind the words, all of that. Don't just play music without really connecting the deep roots to it. Okay, now we're ready to move on to the next phrase. The song actually has another verse. We won't go through that because we're not singing the song today. We're just going measure by measure and giving you a little bit of what I do when I put it together. So the next part goes something like this. After it's repeated again, it just goes into this ending, and then we go into the next part. Now, it really, this is very tricky right here, so if we could stay on my hands, the chord chart actually calls for B flat, and then it goes to G minor. But on the song, the live recording, you hear this. And it's so beautiful. But the challenge is, how do I get this chord to do and allow myself to play that bass line and the melody at the same time? This is where years of experience comes to play. So I'm going to fiddle with the chord the way it fits on the guitar, so that I can somehow manipulate without losing the momentum of the phrase. So here's what I came up with. Did you catch that? It still retains the beauty of the song. I'm still playing the chords, but I get that really cool little bass line, that walk down. So a little bit of a fancy fill in there. That's the kind of thought, technique that you have to put into something like this. You have to really, it's a puzzle. that you have to figure out so that it retains the integrity, the beauty of the song, but you keep on going. I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, now we're moving on. And here is the F chord. Now, so basically, after I play that ending of the phrase, now I'm kind of stretching the rhythm a little bit, but I love that F7 chord, and I want to play it. Here we go again. So it was just basically a repeat. Here comes that F chord again. So I'm just playing the melody, and I'm still undergirding it or playing the bass of the chord, but the melody, you hear it. But now with the chord. There you go. So it sounds fuller. Now we're going right back again. You gotta have that first note. And then we go back into playing the rest of the melody, which I've already done before. It's just a repeat of the introduction that we've already done. And then we just wrap it up as we did at the very beginning of the song. Now, there is another chorus that you'll recall on the original recording that I will bring it back on my next show. But for today, I think I've given you a lot of material to work on. We might even have to edit this show so that we've got different parts of it today, and then parts coming next week. But I hope this helps you get a better idea on how to take a song. Of course, I'm going to hold this up real quick. The key to all of this is having a book, and here I have a book that actually has the musical notation in there. So it's the part that I haven't really even discussed is reading music. And I cannot stress enough to you to learn how to read music. There are going to be so many different things that you'll want to do, but you won't know how to do it. Learning how to read music is a key to advancing your ambitions or being able to accomplish your goals. I've been able to take music reading and the actual anatomy of the guitar fretboard and to customize a particular guitar arrangement for any song. Any song, all songs, every song that I play, I always customize and try to create these different arrangements and positions, because the guitar just begs for it to be played and to be played creatively. So this concludes today's session. Stay tuned. There's more information coming your way.